Hi guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. Please comment if you can hear me so I know that I'm being heard. Good morning. Welcome, 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 welcome. So guys, welcome back to Motivation Mornings. Welcome back, and I just want to take this time just to honor Grace, the boss lady that is the moderator of this group, and thank you very much for bringing me on again to your platform. And guys, it's gonna be pretty quick, and I'm just going to give you guys some motivation tools. Let me introduce myself for those of you guys that don't know me. My name is Shani Simon Godfrey. I am the founder and CEO of Elevation TV Network and Legacy Consulting Firm. I am here to help you guys transform, elevate, and get empowered to do it for somebody else. So when I come on, I will be coming on every Thursday. Yeah, so you guys get to know me every Thursday, and I am going to be giving us some real practical tools on how to do just that: transform, elevate, empower. So if you can hear me, go ahead and comment good morning, Grace, and comment so I can hear you. I can know that you guys are here with me. Also, feel free to leave your comments. I really enjoy reading your comments and connecting with you guys, so feel free to do that. So last week we talked about the 5 mindsets, right, that entrepreneurs go through, and practical tools on how to overcome it, right, get to the other side of it. So today I am talking about planning for success. We hear that a lot. Planning for success. Awesome. Planning for success, because this week I had the opportunity to talk to a lot of different entrepreneurs, and one thing that I see that they all had in common, and this is experienced people that's been doing this, they're coaches, they're transformation speakers, they do so much, but at the same time they're struggling. They're saying, I feel like I'm drowning in my business. Right. We all get like that, right? I feel like I'm drowning in my business. I'm not enjoying my business or my businesses. So we're going to talk about that. Yes, planning for success. We're going to talk about that. So here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to tell you guys which resources to use, because I know myself that Grace have some amazing resources, guys. And if you haven't checked them out yet, go back to Motivation Monday mornings and go back to all the tools that she has. She had them in the group, and you guys can see some amazing tools. Get a planner. I don't care if it's digital, if it's paper, if it's you draw it yourself. I don't care, but you need to put your stuff down in writing. Thus, write the vision, make it plain, vision board, however you want to word it. It's the same thing. Put it down in writing. People think that we manage time. We don't manage time. We manage what we do with the time that we're given, the time that we're allowed. That's what we manage. Because a lot of times we're saying that, planning don't work for me, or it's hard for me to manage my time. And now we got to change our mindset from wanting to manage time to manage the things that's taking up our time. So entrepreneurs, first thing, you need a planner. You need to track your goals, track your day, track your tasks. You need to track them. You need to have them on writing, your to-dos. It needs to be on writing, and try to keep your system streamlined so it's easy to use and it's easy to plug and play and to keep up with. Because the thing about it is, with entrepreneurs, there's so many tools and resources out there for us that a lot of times we have 5, 6, 7, 8, even 10 different things that we have half of our day here, half of our day here. And by the time we get to noon, we're overwhelmed. So have one thing that you're tracking, your daily goals. Here's all the things that I have to do today. Then you have your weekly goal. Here's all the things that I have to do this week. Then you have your monthly goal, your yearly goal, all the way up to 10 years, okay? Because you got to plan. Because one thing about it is, with entrepreneurs, we got to assess our risk. We have risk as entrepreneurs, and we don't plan for that. So we need to make sure that when we're doing our planning, we have our backup plan. If we go on live, if we do recordings, if my camera go down, what's the plan for that? If this happened, what's the plan for that? And we don't plan for our failures. So we're going to plan for our failures, because that is what's going to propel us and keep us successful, because we are going to do risk assessment, right? Underwriting our risk. Here's what happens when I go through these things. Here's what I am going to do to make sure that my business don't take a loss, especially if you are a full-time entrepreneur and your business is your source of income. You want to make sure that you're planning for your success. So guys, bring on your questions. Let's talk. Let's talk. Talk to me. Let's talk. So we're planning for our success, and planning for our success have to do what? Also taking our risk into consideration, right? And I'm not going to talk about the business plan, not this week. Not this week. We are just talking about our time. What are we doing with our time? Because a lot of times we spend a lot of time working in our business that we don't spend a lot of time working on our business. We're not growing. We're not growing. The more clients we take on, we begin to drown. The more sales we're getting, we begin to drown. We're not responding to our clients and our customers, our patients, however you want to call them. If you're in ministry, we're not responding to our members like we're supposed to. And that's because throughout the day, our brain is trying to retain so much information that starts to become stressful. That's starting to wear and tear us down. And we got to make sure that as entrepreneurs, we are the secret sauce. We are our greatest asset. So we have to take care of that. So we have to put our things in writing. And that's how we measure too, guys. We have to measure our growth and our success. One question I ask them is, how do you know if you're growing? And they're like, well, I have more customers. I'm more busy. And those are the questions. I'm doing more speaking engagements and everything like that. But we have to understand that yes, we can be doing more, but we're not necessarily productive, right? Because we have to be productive too. So what I tell them is the planner, don't just your planning system. Let me see a planning system, whether it's paperback or digital. Don't just tell you what you're doing. It track your progress. It's what you use to measure. You remember SMART goals? And I know that there's a video in here about SMART goals. Right? Measurable. How do you measure your goals if you don't track them? It could be a budget, right? It could be money. It can be more exposure. Whatever it is, you got to be able to sit down and measure your progress. And you can't measure something if you don't have a baseline, right? So this week, I say, for example, this week we said that we want to get 100,000 followers, right? Come next week, we got to be able to see this is what happened. Here's what happened this day. Here's what happened that day. Because if we do hit that goal, great. We need to repeat that. And if we don't hit that goal, then we need to assess that. Why didn't I hit my goal? Because think about this, at the end, and we're going into a new year, and Grace have a planner, a journal for 2019, and a planner that she had that you guys can use to help you do exactly this. Measure your goals, set SMART goals. Set SMART goals. And we're going to talk about SMART goals because a lot of times I hear it and then people teach it and they don't, and I think I got it, but not really. And I leave and I'm like, well, the SMART goal ain't too smart because I think I'm smart and I don't understand this. Okay. So I am going to give you guys some practical examples on SMART goals and how to really use that SMART goal method. That SMART goal method and how to plug your own business into it. Your planning system, whether it's daily, whatever it is, it needs to be set up on a SMART goal system. That way you guys can really effectively track your productivity and track your growth, your elevation, your transformation, all these words that we love, we use. This is what we're doing when we plan for success. So SMART goal, that's the SMART, SMART goal. The S is specific. What do you want to do? Be specific. A lot of people said, I'm growing my business. That's nice and all, but how? What do you want your business to look like? What is the big picture here? In a year from now, and you look back to your now self, what are you looking to see? Is it that you want to be a bestseller on Amazon? Is it that you want to be you want to have a physical location? Be specific in the goals. Thus visualize it. They said make a vision board, right? And then if we're biblical, we go to the scripture, write the vision, make it plain. Because when the struggle get real, the vision will do what? Always remain true. All right. Be as specific as you can. Put as much details in it. Be very detailed with your specifics. Then we're talking about measurable. Now here's where entrepreneurs get disconnected. It's the M, the measurable part. How are you measuring your goal if you're not tracking your goal? What system are you using to measure what you're doing? We mentioned the busybody entrepreneur, yes? The perfectionist entrepreneur, yes? So here's where we identify those type of mindsets and we can work through them to get rid of them. Because if we're perfectionists, and I'm telling you, I'm guilty, first to say I'm guilty with that. I will spend so much time doing one thing because to me, in my eyes, it don't look right. Hi, Lakita, it don't look right, right? And I change it 5, 6 times, right? Only 2 weeks later, I still haven't produced this thing that I'm trying to produce because of that perfectionist mindset. Now, measurable and specific means this is what it's going to look like. For me, I got to be super detailed. Here's what this project is going to look like. Now, as long as it looked like that, even if my mindset is telling me it's not perfect, well, I covered everything I wanted to cover. Next, the busybody mindset. This system, having a system in place, will help us. Having a system in place will help us to do what? Measure, right? Measure our goals, measure our growth, measure, yes, measure our progress. We need systems in place, and not just systems to keep us more productive, but systems to measure our progress. And guys, you can't have a system if you don't go back and look at it. For me, I have a social media scheduling. It automatically posts for me. So I can't look at all my different pages. So I go in that system, I track that system. In my planner, because I'm a write it down type of person, I have to see it, touch it, feel it, okay? I write it down, social media management. And once a week, I am going to sit down and I'm going to look at all of my pages for all of my businesses, and I'm going to check my progress. And I'm going to write down what happened in my planner. And then next week, I'm expecting what? Change, transformation, elevation, growth. We can't progress if we're not checking where we're at. We got to face us. A few days, there's some things that happen personally that pulls me away from everything else that I have to do. That don't mean that everything that I jumped over on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, that it's gone. No, I got to go back, look at it, and do what? Plan it into this week, plan it into next week, but I got to go back and measure my progress because I have a monthly goal and I broke it down. And at the end of the month, I need to make sure I'm hitting it. You may not hit everything that day. That's okay. But that's when the month, you got to sum up your month. Here's all the things I didn't do throughout the 4 weeks I was given. So before this month is over, I need to make sure I'm doing what? I'm pushing. Right? Yes, paper works for me. I love some paper. I have to have it in front of me. I have to check it off. If I don't do that, yeah, it kind of go out the window. It goes right out the window. But I do have a catch-all, which is the phone, because we always have the phone, and I catch everything on my phone. But throughout that day, I'm going to sit down and put it on paper because that's just how my brain works. Attainable, right? Attainable. And a lot of people said, well, I can do whatever, I can do it, whatever I want to do, I can get it done. And that's true to some sense, right? Here's what that is: attainable. You have a goal as specific as measurable. Now what makes it attainable? We got to break it down, right? Because we can't come up with a goal like brand new entrepreneur, just launched a business yesterday, and say that in 1 month I want to be a millionaire. And let's and I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't know what business you're doing. But if we're doing a real up and up business, that goal might not be what? Attainable. For 30 days you're gonna be a millionaire. Nobody knows you. You don't have a brand. Nobody knows you. You're just popping up like, hey, I'm a coach, pay me $100,000 to coach you. Not gonna happen. We need proof, right? We need proof. So attainable. Break your goals down. Some people weekly, daily, whatever works for you. Like me, I do it weekly, monthly, daily, because that's just, I know me. I need structure because I'm a busybody perfectionist. Okay, so I got to make sure I keep myself on a short leash. So with that being said, daily, I got to see what I did today, weekly and monthly. Now, attainable. Once I break those big goals down throughout my day and throughout my week, at the end of the month, it becomes what? Attainable. If the goal is not realistic and not attainable, guys, break it down. Break it down and spread it. Even if you have to spread it over a few years, spread it. Because what happens with entrepreneurs, and they said most businesses fail within what? The first year to 2 year, right? So within the first 2 years of your business, you already starting off like, yep, I'm failing, right? It's like guilty until proven innocent. And that's when we have to plan that in the end of that year,